and CeeLo back with us on the gridiron to talk football. So, Ty, do you think the Jets' only chance of winning on Sunday is by wreaking havoc on Lamar Jackson in the pocket?
Absolutely. And the good news for the Jets is Lamar hasn't looked like himself since he's come back. In the 3 games he's played, just 60 total rushing yards. And if you're the Jets, you want this game to look a lot like the game that the Ravens played against the Browns. Ugly, nasty, with not a lot of scoring, and I think that'll be their best efforts to try to win this game. But containing Lamar Jackson sounds tough, but he's dealing with a lot of lower extremity issues, and I think the Jets will, have that be favorable for them tomorrow.
He is. I mean, missed time with the hamstring. Last week was a knee. This week it was an ankle that cost him a day of practice. You referenced that Browns game. Nobody's Myles Garrett right now, but the Jets do have some pretty capable pass rushers. We heard from Jermaine Johnson there. Will McDonald, another one as well. The thing with Jackson is you can do a really good job for 95 to 98% of the game, keep him in the pocket, keep him contained, and it's that one play where he can escape and it can be a game breaker, right? And for the Jets, with the way they've been going on offense, maybe it'll be a little bit better with Tyrod Taylor taking over. Maybe they'll hold the ball a little bit longer, keep Lamar off the field, push the ball down the field, score some more points. But defensively, the Jets, while you want to get after him and get him to the ground and register a lot of sacks and maintain and contain him into the pocket, it's a slippery slope when you're coming after the quarterback and he's got that escapability. So you hope that some of those injuries and him being a little bit banged up and not the 100% version of himself gives them a better chance to accomplish that on Sunday.
Yeah, and the Jets defense is second to last in the league for quarterback hits, so we'll see how that goes. Switching gears to the Giants, Jameis Winston under center once again for Big Blue. Here's Winston on what the focus is for Sunday.
These guys are excited, man. What we're looking for is we're searching for our first road win, right? And we're searching for our first win in a very long time. So our intention is focused on that. Not on who's playing or who's getting reps. This is about, man, how can we beat the Detroit Lions?
Second straight week with Jameis Winston under center. Very entertaining in the locker room for sure.
Yeah.
CeeLo, what can we realistically learn about Mike Kafka as an interim head coach when his top quarterback, his top running back, and wide receiver are all out?
I don't think a whole lot. I mean, I think for Mike Kafka, what you're evaluating right now is how the entire team looks. Are they responding? Are they continuing to play hard? Are they putting in the effort to stay into some of these games? I mean, look, on paper, it's a real tough matchup for them. They've been limited and depleted on offense for most of the season. And you talk about those key players that are out of the lineup. If you're trying to get a glimpse into next year and, hey, how would a Mike Kafka run team look with Jackson Dart going in his second year? An exciting running back in Cam Scadaboo, a top-flight receiver, Malik Neighbors. None of that is there. But look, he is an offensive guy. He was the offensive coordinator. So I think what you'd like to see is still a representative performance, right? From Jameis Winston on down, the receivers, Isaiah Hodgins coming off the practice squad last week and giving the Giants a decent game. You'd like to see some of these other lesser-known guys step up and be able to stay competitive in the game and still move the ball down the field, put some points on the board against a Lions team that obviously has a lot of firepower. And you know you're going to be a big underdog in this game. It's going to be tough to find a way to win, but you don't want to embarrass yourself. And that's a low bar I'm setting, but I think right now, offensively, specifically, that's kind of where it's at for Mike Kafka. And the Giants.
I got to be honest. I don't think Kafka's actually auditioning for this job because the Giants, with their quarterback already in place. You mentioned Neighbors, Scadaboo. So offensively, there's a lot of talent. There's a case to be made, and we'll see what happens elsewhere in the NFL, that this is going to be the most attractive job in all of football. So with all due respect to Kafka, they're not going in that direction. They're going big game hunting. If Tomlin becomes available, for Harbaugh, Stefanski, maybe Matt LaFleur, we'll see what happens. So for Kafka, I think he's auditioning for his next job. When it comes to the Giants, what you're trying to do in a lost season is just see who's you're able to maintain to keep into next year, because you don't have a lot of talent on that defense, or we thought you had a lot of talent on that defense that hasn't really materialized. So you're just trying to evaluate who are the holdovers going into next season.
CeeLo, quickly here, what do you think Winston has to do on Sunday?
Not turn the football over, which is asking a lot for Jameis. It's funny, first game, I put a lot of balls into danger against the Packers. They kept dropping. And then ultimately it was a throw where Jalen Hyatt kind of laid him out to dry that was intercepted late in the game. So, I mean, look, Jameis is what he is. He's going to put some balls into some trouble. But the Giants, they need to take some chances on offense in order to stay competitive. By the way, can we get Jameis and John Jastrzemski in the same room together? You talk about entertaining.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, those two, the world might
podcast deal now.
implode. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yes.
All right, CeeLo, Ty, thanks so much, guys.